Greetings, everyone. My name is Odina Leonilio Corion, on my first year taking up my master's in business administration, major in human resource management and development. I am here to talk about Part 7, Training and Development. Here are our learning objectives. At the end of this session, the Master Ranzi will be able to first, define and explain the concept of training and development within human resource management. Second, identify the steps in the training process: needs assessment, design, implementation, evaluation. Third, differentiate between training methods: on the job, off the job, technology-based, experiential, and their applications. Fourth, examine the importance of training needs analysis or TNA in aligning employee development with organizational goals. Fifth, discuss models of training evaluation, such as Kirkpatrick's 4-level model to assess effectiveness. And lastly, analyze the role of executive development programs in building leadership and succession planning. Understanding training and development in the human resource context. In human resource management, or HRM, training and development are strategic functions aimed at enhancing the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of employees to ensure organizational effectiveness and individual growth. These practices are not only vital for improving employee performance, but also for preparing organizations to meet future challenges. Training in HRM. Training is the process of teaching employees the skills and knowledge they need to perform their current jobs more effectively. According to Armstrong in 2020, training is a planned process to modify attitude, knowledge, or skill behavior through learning experience to achieve effective performance in an activity or range of activities. Training is often short-term, job-specific, and performance-driven. It includes technical skills, role-specific tasks, safety procedures, and compliance training. Development in HRM. Development is a broader and long-term process focused on the growth of the employee beyond their current role. It aims at preparing individuals for future responsibilities through continuous learning. According to Noe, RA in 2020, employee development focuses on activities that help employees grow both personally and professionally to meet future job requirements. It includes leadership development, coaching, mentoring, and succession planning. So what are the key features of development? First, it is long-term focus. Second, it is individual-centered. Third, it prepares for future roles. And fourth, emphasizes personal and professional growth. Significance of training and development in HRM. Training and development contribute to: first, increase employee productivity and performance. Second, greater employee satisfaction and retention. Third, improved adaptability to change. Fourth, enhanced organizational competitiveness. And fifth, leadership pipeline development. According to Dessler G in 2020, organizations that continuously invest in training and development programs achieve higher levels of innovation, employee engagement, and profitability. What is the difference between training and development? According to Purpose, training improves current job performance while development prepares for future roles. Training focuses on job-specific skills, while development focuses on broad capabilities and leadership. As for the duration, training is short-term and development is long-term. As for the orientation, training is reactive, while development is proactive. And as for the responsibility, training is organization-led, while development is shared between employee and the organization. What are the best practices in training and development? First, conducting training needs analysis or TNA. Second, aligning training with strategic organizational goals. Third, using blended learning, that includes in-person plus online learning. Fourth, measuring training effectiveness through key performance indicators or KPIs and feedback. And fifth, encouraging a learning culture. Steps in training in the HR context. The first step is training needs analysis, or TNA. In this step, HR identifies skill gaps through performance reviews, employee surveys, and industry benchmarks. To cite examples, BPO companies like Concentrix or JP Morgan Chase and Company regularly conduct needs assessments to determine skills employees lack, such as advanced English proficiency, customer service skills, or IT troubleshooting. TESDA, or Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, uses labor market data to identify what industries require more trained workers. For example, construction, caregiving, or ICT. Why is TNA important? It ensures training matches workforce and industry needs. The second step is setting training objectives. In this step, clear goals are created for what trainees should achieve. To cite examples, Globe Telecom sets training objectives for employees in their digital upskilling programs, aiming for measurable competencies in data analytics, cybersecurity, and AI tools. SM Supermall's training programs often aim to improve customer service satisfaction scores by specific percentages. Why does setting training objectives important? It aligns training with business strategy and employee growth. The third step is designing the training program. In this step, HR decides the best training methods and creates modules or invites resource speakers. To cite examples, TESDA Online Program or TOP offers free e-learning modules for Filipinos designed to be flexible and accessible. For example, housekeeping, ICT, and entrepreneurship. Jollibee Foods Corporation or JFC designs its internal training system using role-playing, simulations, and on-the-job training to standardize food safety and customer service practices across branches worldwide. So why does designing the training program important? Design determines how effective and engaging the training will be. The fourth step is implementation of training. This is where actual delivery of the training to employees happen. To cite examples, Bank of the Philippine Islands or BPI implements blended learning, face-to-face plus e-learning for employees on compliance, customer relations, and digital banking. Philippine Airlines or PAL conducts simulator-based training for pilots and in-flight safety programs for cabin crew to meet global aviation standards. Why is implementation of training important? Employees gain hands-on knowledge and apply what they've learned. The fifth step is evaluation of training. This is where assessing effectiveness of the training through feedback, performance changes, and organizational outcomes happen. To cite examples, BPO sector uses customer satisfaction surveys and quality assurance scores to evaluate if training improved employee performance. In TESDA programs, these measure success by tracking the employment rate of graduates, like how many get hired after training. So why is evaluation of training important? It shows if training investments deliver results and where improvements are needed. To continue with evaluation of training, Kirkpatrick's four-level evaluation model is most commonly used. This was originally developed by Donald Kirkpatrick in 1959 and refined later by Kirkpatrick and Kirkpatrick in 2006. This model evaluates training programs in four progressive levels, moving from immediate reactions to long-term results. The first level is reaction. It measures how participants feel about the training, their satisfaction, engagement, and relevance. The methods that are being used are post-training surveys, feedback forms, and interviews, the purpose of which ensures that training is well received and seen as valuable. To cite an example, after a TESDA online course, Participants rate the course content, trainer effectiveness, and delivery platform. The second level is learning. This measures the knowledge, skills, and attitudes gained from training. The methods that are being used are pre and post tests, simulations, role-playing, and skill demonstrations, the purpose of which determines if learning objectives were achieved. For example, in BPOs like Concentrix, agents undergo communication skills training and take assessments before and after to measure improvement. The third level is behavior. This measures how participants apply the training on the job. The methods being used are observation, performance appraisals, manager feedback, and key performance indicators or KPIs, the purpose of which evaluates if training transfers into workplace behavior. To cite an example, after customer service training in SM Supermalls, managers observe if employees handle complaints better and show improved customer interaction. The fourth level is results. It measures the broader organizational impact of the training. The methods that are being used are business performance indicators such as productivity, sales, quality, customer satisfaction, and employee retention, the purpose of which shows if training delivers ROI or return of investment. To cite an example, Philippine Airlines tracks improvements in customer satisfaction scores and flight safety compliance after training its cabin crew. What are the key insights? The levels are hierarchical. Level 1 is easiest to measure, while Level 4 is hardest but most valuable. Organizations often stop at Levels 1 and 2, reaction and learning, but fail to track Levels 3 and 4, or behavior and results. For true training effectiveness, all 4 levels should be evaluated. Moving on, let's discuss further analyzing training needs in the HR context. Training needs analysis, or TNA, is the systematic process of identifying the gap between employees' current performance and the knowledge, skills, or attitudes required to perform their jobs effectively. It ensures that training is targeted, cost-effective, and aligned with organizational goals. According to NOE in 2020, training needs assessment identifies the gap between the current and desired levels of knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So what are the steps in analyzing training needs? The first step is organizational analysis. This looks at the company's goals, strategies, resources, and external environment. It ensures training aligns with organizational objectives. To cite an example, TESDA studies labor market trends to identify industries needing skilled workers, whether it's construction, IT, or BPO. The second step is task analysis. This identifies specific tasks, duties, and skills required for a particular job. It defines what employees need to learn to perform effectively. For example, Jollibee breaks down the role of a service crew to identify training areas, whether it's food preparation, cashiering, or customer interaction. The third step is person analysis. This identifies which employees need training and what kind. It avoids training employees who already have the necessary skills. For example, in BPO firms, new hires may need communication skills training, while experienced agents may require advanced technical troubleshooting. The fourth step is collecting data for TNA, or training needs analysis. The methods that are being used are performance appraisals, employee surveys and interviews, observation, industry benchmarking, and HR metrics. So what are the benefits of training needs analysis? It ensures training is aligned with strategy. It avoids wasting resources on irrelevant programs. It identifies skill gaps for competitive advantage. And it improves employee engagement and performance. Moving on, let's talk about training methods in human resource management. Training methods are the approaches or techniques used to improve employee skills, knowledge, and attitudes to enhance job performance and organizational productivity. According to Noe in 2020, training methods are the means by which training programs are delivered, and the choice of method affects the success of employee development. The first method is on-the-job training, or OJT. This is where employees learn by doing tasks under supervision. Job instruction training, or JIT. This is a step-by-step demonstration and practice. Coaching or mentoring. This is where senior employees guide juniors. Job rotation. Employees shift roles to learn multiple skills. Apprenticeship. Long-term training under experts. To cite examples, TESDA OJT programs require students to undergo workplace training, for example in hotels, restaurants, and BPOs. Jollibee Foods Corporation uses OJT for service crews before regular deployment. Another method is off-the-job training. This is conducted outside the regular work environment. For example, classroom training, which includes lectures, discussions, or case studies. Workshops and seminars. These are short focus sessions. We also have simulation and role-playing, realistic problem-solving practice. E-learning and online training, which includes flexible and technology-based modules. We also have management or leadership training, which are programs for supervisors and executives. To cite an example, Globe Telecom's Globe University offers e-learning and leadership training. Another example is PAL, or the Philippine Airlines, which uses flight simulators for pilot and crew training. Another method is technology-based training. This includes e-learning platforms like learning management systems. We also have virtual reality training, or VR, which includes immersive simulations increasingly used in aviation or healthcare. We also have webinars, which are remote learning sessions. To cite an example, TESDA Online Program, or TOP, gives free online courses in ICT, entrepreneurship, and hospitality. BPO companies use virtual training modules for communication and technical skills. Another method is experiential learning. This includes team building activities like outdoor challenges or group problem solving. We also have action learning, which employees work on real organizational problems. To cite examples, Ayala Corporation holds leadership camps for young professionals, and government agencies like Civil Service Commission, or CSC, use team building retreats to improve inter-office collaboration. Training and development is not limited to frontliners or basic workers. Managers and executives deserve to have training and development too. So let's further discuss executive development programs, or EDPs, in HR. Executive development refers to the planned and systematic process of improving managerial and leadership capabilities to prepare executives for higher responsibilities and strategic decision making. According to Armstrong in 2020, executive development is concerned with improving the performance of managers by providing opportunities for growth and learning. It is broader than training. It involves long-term growth in leadership, strategy, decision-making, and innovation. So what are the objectives of executive development? First is to equip leaders with strategic thinking and decision-making skills. Second is to improve leadership, communication, and team management. Third is to develop future organizational leaders for succession planning. And fourth is to adapt to rapid changes in technology, markets, and globalization. And lastly, to enhance innovation and corporate social responsibility, or CSR. What are the methods of executive development? First, we have the on-the-job methods. This includes coaching and mentoring. Executives receive guidance from senior leaders. We also have job rotation, where leaders are exposed to different functions like finance, marketing, or operations. We also have action learning, where leaders are working on real organizational challenges. And we also have committee assignments, where leaders participate in decision-making bodies. We also have the off-the-job methods, examples of which are university-based EDPs, where leaders specialized in programs with academic institutions. We also have seminars and conferences where leadership, corporate governance, and innovations are being learned. We also have business simulation and case studies where learning through real-world problem solving is being done. And lastly, we have executive retreats where intensive programs for reflection and strategy are being learned. Executive development in the Philippine context. One example is the Asian Institute of Management, or AIM. AIM offers executive MBA and custom leadership programs for corporate executives in Southeast Asia. They focus in innovation, corporate governance, and entrepreneurship. We also have Ateneo Graduate School of Business, or AGSB, who runs the Middle Managers Program and Leadership and Strategy courses. They are designed for Filipino managers transitioning to executive roles. And we also have the De La Salle University, or Ramon V. Del Rosario College of Business, who offers leadership development programs with a strong focus on CSR and sustainability. We also have corporate examples of executive development. One example is Ayala Corporation, where leadership development and succession planning programs for top managers happen. Another example is San Miguel Corporation, or SMC, where rotational assignments and advanced leadership training for senior leaders and management are also being done. And for Globe Telecom, they have the Globe University for continuous executive and managerial development. So what are the benefits of executive development? First, it builds a pipeline of future leaders. Second, it improves organizational competitiveness. Third, it enhances decision-making under uncertainty. Fourth, it promotes sustainability and corporate governance. And lastly, it boosts employee engagement by strengthening leadership. In conclusion, training and development are essential in human resource management because they help employees improve their skills, support company growth, and prepare future leaders. A proper training process, starting from identifying needs, choosing methods, and ending with evaluation, makes learning more effective and relevant. In the Philippines, organizations like Jollibee, Globe, and TESDA show how training builds both stronger businesses and a more skilled workforce. Using models like Kirkpatrick's 4 levels helps measure not only if employees enjoy the training, but also if it truly improved performance. Executive development programs further ensure that companies have capable leaders for the future. Overall, training and development strengthen both employees and organizations, contributing to long-term success and progress. That ends my report. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.